We have got many fundamental rights, and these fundamental rights enhance your personality. Without fundamental rights and without other rights, there is no meaning. To, without these rights, we cannot survive. Let me tell you one thing. That's why there is a lot of difference between democratic country and non-democratic country. In democratic countries, lot of rights have been given so that the people of citizens can enjoy in those particular countries. Okay, so today, in addition to the political, we have other economic rights, right? In addition to the political and economic rights, more and more democracies are recognizing the cultural claims of the citizens. Cultural claim, which I tell you, I'm just recapturing it, right? So we have got the political in democracy. We have got the political right also. We have got the economic right also. But the government is giving you, what do you mean by political right? When you are going to choose your own government, universal level franchise is a set of they have got lot of this way. This we have got political right. We can choose the government. We can context the election. We can go in the election and to have our use the EVM machine for the casting our votes. Then economic right, पैसा कमाने के लिए, right? You can do whatever you want to do. You want to, we can become, you can do your business. You can be a good, whatever you want to have the economy to boost up your economy. You can do it, but it should be the under the law. कानून के हिसाब से जो आप काम करना चाहो, आप वो काम कर सकते हो, right? So that to enhance your economy. More and more democracies are recognizing the culture and claims of the citizen also, the right to have primary education in one's mother tongue. I told you yesterday that education के अंदर भी social education के अंदर भी that the government saying that you can go for your mother tongue language, mother tongue, and you can go for further your study. If you are good in Hindi, you are good in Bengali, you can, if your mother tongue is Punjabi or Malayali or Tamil, so you can have education in that particular mother tongue, mother language. The right of establishing institution for teaching one's language and culture. You can enhance your culture, you can enhance your teaching, you can enhance your own language. So it will be good for you also. It can make your life much more easy and better. The list of rights has thus steadily increased in democracies, while some rights, primarily the right to life, liberty, and equal treatment, your treatment should be equal. This is your personal right or fundamental right also, right? Right of liberty, right to life. These are all your personal, fundamental rights, and the right to a political participation are seen the basic rights. So these basic rights are fundamental rights, which this was a recapitulation from the last day yesterday. So this was your right, and government is very much concerned about your personal right, so then we have got the right and responsibilities. Rights and responsibilities. Rights not only place obligation upon the state to act in a certain way, for instance, to ensure sustainable development, but they also place obligation upon each of us. Firstly, they compel us to think not just for own personal needs and interests, but to defend something as being good for all of us. So, राइट का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप सिर्फ अपने बारे में सोचें. Right? Suppose you need a wood, you need certain जलाने के लिए you need some wood and you cut down some tree and because you need something. You cannot take the law in your hand. You cannot destroy the nature. You cannot destroy the forests. You cannot destroy the water. Right? We have to have sustainable development. If you are going to establish a factory or industry, right, you have to take care. You have to take care that due to the industrial, there should be no industrial pollution in the atmosphere. No industrial pollution in the atmosphere. Otherwise, other people will not be able to live a happy life due to you only. So, firstly, they compel us to think. हमें ये compel करते हैं कौन? Rights. They used to compel us to think not just for our own personal needs. हम अपने बारे में ना सोचें and interest, but to defend something others being good for all. उसके बारे में सोचें जो सबके लिए अच्छा है. Not for you only. The benefit should be for the whole society, whole world, right? Sara jahan hamara, right? So if we are going to take care of this, it will be benefit for all. Next, protecting the ozone layer, minimizing air and water pollution. Ozone layer को बचाइए, right? I think I described yesterday also about ozone layer and all, or water pollution को भी minimize कीजिए. Maintaining the green cover by place and new trees and all, which are, all these things. Okay. Now, secondly, they require that I respect the right of others. दूसरों के अधिकारों को भी आप respect दीजिए. If I say that I must be given the right to express my views, यदि मैं चाहता हूं कि मैं अपने व्यूज को एक्सप्रेस करूं, I must also grant the same right to the others. मुझे दूसरों के बारे में भी सोचना पड़ेगा कि दूसरे भी अपने व्यूज को रख सके. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप अपने ही व्यूज को रखें. दूसरे they should be put their fingers on their lips. No, it can't be possible. If we are talking, if you are saying about your rights, if you are saying about that you should be respected, then you should respect the others also, right? So I must also grant the same right to the others. If I do not want others to interfere in the choices I make, the dress I wear, or the music I listen, I must refrain from the interfering in the choice of the others they are going to make. So if we want that nobody should disturb you, let me tell you very clearly and in a simple way. आप चाहते हैं कि आपको कोई डिस्टर्ब ना करे पढ़ते हुए, म्यूजिक सुनते हुए, खाते हुए, राइट, ड्राइविंग करते हुए. So this is your responsibility also, that you should not disturb others. Don't interfere in others' personal world. बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप सारा दिन लाउडली म्यूजिक सुने, राइट, और बुक्स को एक दरकिनार कर दें and nobody should interfere. No, it cannot possible. It is not possible. Right? Whatever the society gave the norms and conditions to you, you have to accept that particular norms and condition in the society. Right? So norms and conditions society to be civilized. No, you can't abuse anyone to express yourself. Let me tell you one thing. Your abusive language, you are very much known these days, very much common. You go anywhere, you will find abusive language, abusive words. But that doesn't mean that you abuse anyone because he is your friend, he is not your friend. Government or law doesn't permit you. You are hampering your own rights. You're crossing your limits if you're doing like this. Right? So, rights are there. Your right ends where my nose starts. आपकी हदें खत्म हो जाती हैं जहां से मेरी नाक शुरू. Right? I must refrain from interfering in the choices that others make. I must leave them free to choose their music. Yes, you can listen to music, but you cannot loudly listen with full volume. You cannot listen the music so that others are going to disturb it, feeling disturbance. So I cannot use the right to free speech to incite a crowd to kill my neighbor. ये जो दंगे फसाद होते हैं क्यों होते हैं? बिकॉज आपका जो स्पीच होता है ना, इट्स वेरी, इट्स नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल. Lot of violations are there. You put lot of unwanted words in the speech, and the whole crowd becomes with full of anger, convert in full of anger, and they do which they should not do. So what I said, I cannot use the right to free speech to incite a crowd to kill my neighbor. मैं ऐसा कोई स्पीच नहीं, भाषण नहीं दे सकता कि पूरे क्राउड वायलेंट हो जाए और दे ये दंगे फसाद होते, बिकॉज आप पॉलिटिशियंस, सो पॉलिटिशियंस आर वेरी गुड, हमारे जो राजनीतिज्ञ है ना, ये बहुत अच्छे हैं. ये खड़े खड़े लोगों को पागल कर देते हैं. और वो क्या करते हैं, जाकर किसी एक पर्टिकुलर लोगों के ऊपर या उनके रिलीजन के ऊपर या किसी चीज के ऊपर अटैक कर देते हैं. राइट, व्हाट टाइप राइट 1947 1947 इंडिया पाकिस्तान के साथ हिंदू मुस्लिम का जो दंगे फसाद हुए थे, क्यों होते हैं? अपने आप ही भड़क, कोई उनको भड़काता है. इन एक्सरसाइजिंग माई राइट आई कैन नॉट डिप्राइव अदर्स ऑफ देयर. मैं यदि अपने आपके अधिकारों को आई वांट दैट माय राइट शुड बी गिवन, पर इसका मतलब है दूसरे के अधिकारों को मैं छीन लूं. भैया मैं भूखा हूं, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि मैं दूसरे के खाने को छीन लूं. गेट माई पॉइंट? योर राइट्स आर अप टू योर ओन. वो जमीन तुम्हारी है जहां पे तुम खड़े हो. किसी के दूसरे के घर में जाके कहो ये घर मेरा है, कैट नॉट पॉसिबल, बिकॉज मेरे पास घर नहीं है, तुम्हारा घर मेरा है, पॉसिबल नहीं है. So these are your rights. Rights are limitation. Rights are also limitation. ये आपको बांधता, आपके अधिकार आपको बांधते हैं कि आप अधिकारों की सीमा को जानो, इससे आगे मत जाओ. ये वायलेशन ऑफ राइट्स हो जाएगा. Getting my points? Are you? Fine. Thirdly, my in other words, my rights are in other words limited by the principle of equal and same rights for all. Beautiful. मेरे अधिकार का मतलब ये है कि मेरे अधिकार सबके लिए अधिकार है. मैं if I want to earn, यदि मैं कमाना चाहता हूँ, I want to earn for my family, it is for every they should earn for their family. If I am doing the job, it's a right for everyone. If they can do educate, if it's right everyone to be educated. Understood? So, thirdly, we must balance our rights when they came into conflict. Very important. This part, every line has its own meaning of the sentence, and very interesting chapter. Let me tell you one thing. Very interesting. बहुत अच्छा शानदार पाठ है ये अपने अधिकारों. Because you are growing up. आपके अधिकार आपके अपने हैं. गवर्नमेंट ने आपको अपने अधिकार दिए हैं, पर दूसरों के अधिकार आपके अपने नहीं है. Right. Thirdly, we must balance our rights when they come into conflict. Conflict के अंदर अधिकार जो है conflict के अंदर नहीं आनी चाहिए. लड़ाई झगड़ा ना हो अधिकारों को लेकर. For instance, my right to freedom of expression allows me to take pictures. However, if I take pictures of person bathing in his house without his consent and post them onto the internet, that's what would be happen. You knew it. Should I elaborate you? Huh? Right. Suppose you can have the picture. You can take the picture from your camera or from mobile. You can do it. Nice picture. It's good for everyone. You feel good. It's a objective picture. It enhances your dignity. It's very good, which gives the social aspect in the society. That's very good. But someone is having bathing in his bathroom, and you take the picture and put it into internet. What will happen? What will happen? Police will register a case against you, right? Because you can't say then, no, 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 having the picture is my right, right? So this is the answer. Then must be vigilant about the limitation. Fourthly, citizens must be vigilant about the limitations which may be placed on their rights. I told you that your right has certain limitations. Your right, your आपके जो अधिकार है, ये आपके कुछ limits में है. ये unlimited नहीं है, right? And which may be placed on their rights. A currently debated topic concerns the increased restrictions which many governments are imposing on the civil liberties of the citizen on the grounds of national security. You know, in the globalization part, in the globalization, it's a right to do your business. But suddenly, 2 days ago, we have banned many Chinese apps, more than 150 Chinese apps. It's like this. Chinese apps are banned. Why? Why we have banned the Chinese apps? Suddenly, why so? Because because Chinese apps are having and they are doing some type of unwanted business. They are trespassing your boundaries. वो आपकी बातें चाइना की गवर्नमेंट तक स्पाई कैमरा के साथ स्पाई वर्ड के साथ उनकी बातें अपनी गवर्नमेंट तक पहुंचाती हैं. Your mobile could be a spy for the Chinese people, Chinese government. Your apps could be they are hampering our security, internal and external security of India. That's why they are being banned. So, fourthly, citizen must be vigilant. Vigilant माने जागरूक होना. आपको जागरूक होना पड़ेगा. कभी आपने सोचा कि चाइना कभी गणेश जी और लक्ष्मी जी को नहीं जानते. पता है ना आपको? They are communist country. They don't believe it. Could be believe, but they don't believe Indian god and goddesses. Let me tell you one thing. But let me tell you, they know that what is the meaning of Ganeshi and what is the meaning of Lakshmi, and they, they used to make these type of statues. They knew that they have their own value in the Indian market, right? So they are doing business, right? So we have to be vigilant. How Chinese are capturing your market? You have to be vigilant. Nobody should trespasses your right. आपके अधिकारों को कोई हनन ना करे. आपको विजिलेंट रहना पड़ेगा. यदि आप जागरूक नहीं है तो कोई भी आपके ऊपर अटैक कर सकता है. We were not vigilant. That's when in 1962, China government attack on Chinese forces attack on you. चाइना ने आपके ऊपर हमला किया था ना और बुरी तरह से हराया भी था. कब? 1962 में. क्यों? क्योंकि आप विजिलेंट नहीं थे. इफ यू वांट टू अवॉइड द वॉर, यदि आप लड़ाई को रोकना चाहते हो, आप लड़ाई के लिए तैयार हो. लड़ाई अपने आप रुक जाएगी. If you want to stop the war, be prepared for the war. And be vigilant that what is happening near the border and inside the border. There are many people who are against India, Indian citizens, but they are and India भारत का ही खाना खाएंगे, भारत में ही रहेंगे, पर भारत के अगेंस्ट जाएंगे. See Jammu and Kashmir, 370 आर्टिकल खत्म क्यों किया गया? बिकॉज वी वर विजिलेंट. 35A आर्टिकल खत्म क्यों किया गया? ये तलाक 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 क्यों खत्म किया गया? क्योंकि हम विजिलेंट हो गए हैं अब. पहले नहीं थे, पहले सोए हुए थे, जाकर भी सोए हुए थे. राइट. सो वी हैव टू बी विजिलेंट अबाउट आवर लिमिटेशंस. और हमें अपनी ये भी देखना पड़ेगा कि हमारी लिमिटेशंस क्या है. राइट. which may be placed on their rights. A currently debated topic concern over the increased restriction which may government are imposing on the civil liberties because on the ground of national security. Protecting national security may be defended as necessary for the safeguarding the rights and well-being of the citizens. हमें किसी भी हालत में नेशनल सिक्योरिटी को तो देखना होगा. When the national security comes, this is the primary thing. Your first thing is national security, and before national security, any right has no meaning. देश ही नहीं रहेगा तो हम क्या करेंगे? देश है तो हम है. So national security, due to the and our rights are nowhere if the national security is not there. So, but at what point could be restriction imposed as necessary for security themselves becomes a threat to the all rights of the people? Should a country facing a threat of terrorist bombing be allowed to curtail the liberty of citizens? Should a country facing a threat of terrorist bombing be allowed to curtail the liberty of citizens? Should it be allowed to arrest people on the most suspicion? Look, your rights, your liberties, they are there up to them when the national security is not there. But some people, civil liberties people used to say, you know, due to the national security, we can curtail the rights of our citizens. According to my view, yes, up to certain limits. Certain limits, yes. इतने भी राइट्स नहीं मिलने चाहिए कि आप ड्यूटीज को भूल जाएं, कर्तव्य भूल जाएं. यू फॉरगेट योर ड्यूटीज and you always remember your rights. Rights and duties is a parallel to each other. It's parallel to each other. ये एक दूसरे के संपूरक हैं, एक दूसरे के साथ साथ चलते हैं. राइट्स भी हैं, आपकी ड्यूटीज भी हैं. But when the national duty comes, national security comes, is the foremost prospect. In such a situation, the question is asked whether the person concerned poses an imminent threat to the society. Even arrested person should be allowed legal counsel. Human Rights Association. They used to say that terrorist is also having some rights. Terrorist also having some rights because he is a human being first. Right? So even he just said arrested should be allowed legal counsel. Obviously, sometimes innocent persons are being also arrested. Innocent person. So he should be, he should have some legal aspect also. Legal counseling also. Their case before the magistrate or a court of law. Everyone should be able to give his own view that he is innocent. So he needs some type of legal aspect. Lawyers should be there, to protect him. Defense lawyer and public prosecutor. Always you know it ना. एक तो होता है सरकारी वकील, एक होता है जो अपराधी है उसका अपना वकील. They used to fight the case. One wants to put that the person is a culprit. One wants to say that no, the person is not culprit, the person is innocent. This is their right. First of all, I told you, जेल के बाहर लिखा होता है पाप से घृणा करो, पापी से नहीं। पाप से घृणा कीजिए, पापी से नहीं। जो ऑफेंस हुआ है उससे घृणा करना चाहिए। द पर्सन हु हैज डन इट नॉट फॉर दैट शुड नॉट बी फॉर हिम, right? So we need to be extremely cautious about the giving government powers which could be used to curtail the civil liberties, right? So of individuals, for such powers can be misused. Governments can become authoritarian and undermine the various reasons for which government exists, namely the well-being of the members of the state. You know, what it's saying that we should give, we should not make that particular the government as a authoritarian. The government should not be authoritarian. We should be very careful that government जो है उसको वो ना करने दे जो हर वक्त वही चाहती है। अधिकार आपके हैं, वो आपके रहेंगे, and the fundamental, they are the fundamental rights. And in India, right, you can fight with the government also through the elections. इलेक्शन के थ्रू अपनी गवर्नमेंट से फाइट कीजिए lawfully, कानून के अंतर्गत. Government can become authoritarian and undermine the various reasons for which government exists, namely the well-being of the numbers of the state. Right? So hence, even though rights can never be absolute, अधिकार unlimited नहीं है. Let me tell you one thing. अधिकार unlimited नहीं है. आप कहें कि अधिकारी अधिकार आपको मिलते रहे हो, आप सब कुछ करते रहो, मैंने कि लॉफुल भी अनलॉफुल भी, नो, इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. अधिकारों की अपनी एक सीमा है. So one should be more vigilant protecting our rights. The government should be more vigilant. They should protect our rights and those of others, for they form in the basis for democratic society. Look, we are living in a democratic society. Here the human rights has its own value, vast value. बहुत valuable है human rights. Human rights are much more precious. We should take care of that, but that doesn't mean that you protect the terrorist also. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Let the law does its work. You do your job. Protect yourself from the unwanted people. You knew it, right? So this is your right. Your fundamental rights are there, and in your political rights are there. Your economic rights are there. Your cultural rights are there. Your social rights are there. ये सब आपके rights है. आपके राइट वहां पे खत्म हो जाती हैं जब दूसरों के राइट शुरू हो जाते हैं. राइट? दूसरों के राइट्स को भी ध्यान में रखिए. Okay, now today is the end. Next part we will have peace. Right? This is your homework. Preamble you will read yourself. Preamble of the Human Rights and Declaration. Right? So, nice time.